Well, what makes Boyhood unique is probably the only time you always get asked that question about every movie you do, and you have to make up some answer because they're usually not very unique. Um, but I've been making movies since I was 14 years old, and this is the first movie that I've ever done that is truly not like another movie. I mean, Training Day was a great experience, but it's a lot like French Connection or Dead Poet Society is like Goodbye, Mr. Chips, or, everything is like something else. But Boyhood is a complete original. What makes it original is kind of obvious, but we shot it over 12 years, shooting, somewhere between 4 and 10 days a year, and tell the story of a family over the period of, first grade to 12th grade, into the kind of that gestation period that creates an adult. And so it's a drama that, we filmed for 12 years. Nobody's ever done that before. I felt 100% positive that I wanted to be involved in it. He wasn't sure he wanted me involved when it started because he knew what kind of huge commitment it was going to be, and he was really worried about, what happens if I ended up doing Lord of the Rings and was trapped in New Zealand for 4 years or something. I met Richard Linklater auditioning for, well, not really, but around the time auditioning for Before Sunrise. We met before I auditioned, but well, the thing that separates Rick from most filmmakers, Mike Lee, you can compare it to, and there's some others, is that he asks his collaborators to be a part of the vision and to have vision themselves. There's a school of directors that are kind of dictatorial and have they use that word vision as if the vision belongs to them, and they're so unique and profound in their incredible insight. And what Rick tries to do is kind of harness a collective imagination and get people aboard something larger than something one individual could do. And that's certainly true of Boyhood. Lorelai and Eller, who play my kids, they contributed wildly to this, who they are, what interests them, what they wanted to talk about, what they wanted to write about, things they wanted to say. Yes, Richard had an overarching structure to the movie. The movie, oddly enough, despite all our contributions and everything like that, feels exactly like the movie Rick described to me. 12, 15 years ago when he first started talking about it. But that said, we were all asked to participate. I got to use a lot of my experiences as a father and a lot of my experiences as a son and kind of contribute them to the pool of thought, as did Lorelai and Eller and Patricia and all of us. The most impressive thing for me is, and the luckiest thing about it, there's so many ways in which this could have gone wrong, and the luckiest thing about it was Eller and Lorelai. And they're blossoming into young artists throughout this and their contribution. Watching them at first kind of just being little kids who kind of do cute things until they became contributors. And that was a real artistic contributors. It's a little bit like they went to Richard Linklater's summer camp once a year, but their thesis graduation project is pretty damn good.